Good morning, boys and girls. It is Thursday, April 23rd, the day after Earth Day, and it's going to be a warm couple of days coming up. So we're going to maybe even get to wear shorts. I'm kind of excited. All right, let's talk about let's talk about what we have in store for you in kindergarten today. All right, first on the list is word work. Oh, wait. I forgot to tell you, Pooh is back with Miss Lab. Pooh is spending a lot of time with JoJo. And JoJo brought Pooh back to me. He got a nice bath. You can see he's all clean and lovely looking. Okay. Oh, yes, I will tell them. Okay. Yeah. Pooh says he misses you and loves you and can't wait to see you. And he asked me if he could come on to our phone calls and stuff. So, oh yeah, because sometimes Clifford goes on with the kids in Miss Camelli's class. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, first today is word work. You're going to be doing another sort, and you're going to be looking at words with ag and am in them. And so again, you want to make sure that you sort the words and you want to make sure that you read them. Boys and girls, the reason it's important is because now that you are becoming better readers, we don't just read one word at a time. We actually read, one sound or one letter at a time. If you see the word bag, you don't just have to read it, backwards, B, A, G. You don't have to just go B, A, G. You can look at these two letters together as a unit, as ag. They're in the ag family. So you can look at bag and say, oh, B, here we go, B, ag, S, ag. Okay, backwards. So, parents, help your kiddos to notice the ag and the am in the words and to read them as word parts. Okay, so I'm going to get a frog in my throat from being on the phone all day with all of you wonderful kiddos. For math, today you'll watch Number Corner with Mr. Hernandez. You'll do ST Math, and if you're finished, there's some challenge work, so you just click on the challenge section to do that, and do give us feedback on that and let us know how that's going. You can always go on Seesaw anytime you want. Oh, yeah, okay. You can go on Seesaw anytime you want because there's activities to do there. There's a Three Billy Goats Gruff thing that not all of you have seen. And there's a chance to read a book, and you can also see what your classmates are doing. And so that's a really good way to stay connected. And being connected is very important for our hearts. So, I know, I'm going to tell them. Okay, so he wants me to remind you that Seesaw is where you go to post your work that you can draw on the screen and do activities, but you can also, anything you do that you think is super cool that you want to show your friends, you can go and show them, and we will post the video for you that is related to school, mostly. Okay, we've seen some snails on there, all sorts of interesting things. Okay, so next in your schedule for today is reading. And everybody's using Raz Kids. Almost everybody's on there reading, getting stars, etc. And what we want to do is we want to remind you that this is the magic number. You want to read 1 or 2 new books each day. And then you want to read at least 3 familiar books or more. Familiar book is a book that you read on another day already. So you want to make sure that you're practicing rereading books because that's how you learn to read, is to read and to read some more and to read some more. Okay, so remember your password. It's the sailboat. For writing, you're going to continue making your list of problems that exist. Remember, they're problems and then who you think could solve it. So you guys know that I am working on writing a letter to my cat about the problem. Yes, she brought me a mouse yesterday. We're up to like maybe 10 little things that she's brought in the last couple of weeks. No, she's never brought me a bear, but that's a really good question. Okay. Pooh Bear says I should give my cat honey and then she'll stop. I'm going to try. That might be a really good fix-it idea. All right, you need to go rest. Okay. So, you're going to write more problems and think about who can solve them. So the only one that can solve my Misty problem is my Misty cat. But I had another problem where one of my windows was broken. And so I had to think about the solutions for that. I could just leave it broken. I could put something in front of it so I wouldn't have to look at it. It wasn't like broken, it was fuzzy, foggy. I couldn't see the outside very well. Or I could call somebody and get it fixed. And I didn't know if they could fix it or if they had to get me a new one. So I had to call and I had to ask them. So that's kind of like writing a letter. I could write a letter to the people who know a lot about windows to find out, I have a problem. I can't see through my window. It's all foggy and fuzzy. And it's really important that I fix it. Or can you fix it, to find out? So you can call the governor. You could call the mayor if you have a problem here in Morro Bay. You could write a letter to the teacher. You could write a letter to the principal. You could write a letter to your brother or your sister. One of the great things I know Mrs. Camilla mentioned was food. Yep. So, like, one of the things, if I had somebody bringing me food, I would be like, dear mom and dad, can you please put fruit on my plate at every meal? I really love fruit. Or can we please get the chocolate ice cream with the brownies in it instead of just the plain chocolate ice cream next time? All right. And then science. So something that didn't get mentioned yesterday, it kind of said on the website, like, go ahead and do your observation, but parents, on the very first page of the science packet, there are some investigation questions for you guys to have a conversation about the snail in its habitat. How do they move? Talking about how they move. Talking about how it feels when on the shell. How does it feel moving in your hand? And then also down here, it's all about observing snail structures. So snails are the only animal with just one foot in the whole world. So that's kind of an interesting, cool fact. But you will find out all the parts of a snail, and it's just a really great thing to do. So any observations that you make, you could record on Seesaw and say, oh, when I saw my snail, these are the parts that I observed. You can hold your snail up so everybody can see. Tell us your snail's name. I'm still waiting for somebody to name their snail Elizabeth after me, but I'm not very slow, so it may not happen. All right. So you want to make sure you go on Seesaw. You want to make sure you're on Raz Kids reading your books. Keep going with ST Math. And then that's that for today. But what I need you to do now, boys and girls, if you do not have a grown-up with you, I need you to go get your grown-up. Because I have something for grown-ups. Okay, hi grown-ups. Grown-ups. One of the things that we know is that when we grow up, we can write words and we can spell them just like they look in books. We can write crazy words. When we are in kindergarten, we write what we hear, and the grown-ups, we get to accept that. So, for example, if I was going to write Pooh Bear, I would write P, and then I'm going to write what I hear for oo, and it might be O-O, it might be U, it might be EU, whatever they hear is what they write, okay? P, oo, so they might write that, poo. And then maybe they're writing bear, and they hear B, E, E, er. So even though in books Pooh Bear looks a little bit different, in kindergarten that's perfectly great spelling, and you don't have to correct it. It's one of the things that happens is it's hard for kids to read their writing if we correct the spelling. Also making sure that your kiddos are doing pictures so that they can read their writing later. So if you're doing a problem about trash, make sure you draw a trash can really quick so they can be like, oh yeah, this is the problem about the trash. I remember what I wrote to give them picture clues. Okay, I think that's it for today. I hope you are having a fabulous day so far and that it's the best Thursday ever. Boys and girls, don't give up. I know this is hard. I know we all want to come back to school, but we still have to do this for a few more weeks. And your parents love you and want you to be successful. And remember that when you have to do something and you don't want to do it, you get to make a choice. How big are you going to make the problem? So try to remember and try to make the choices like, oh, you want to do ST math first or writing first? Rather than saying like, what do you want to do? Because that's a big choice for a kid to say, what do you want to do? So kiddos, write what you hear. Ask your parents for 2 choices when you get overwhelmed. Say, Mom, will you give me 2 choices? Or Dad or Grandma or whoever it is that is the loved one nearby taking care of you. Okay, I think I'm done for today. Miss you. Love you. Happy Thursday.